Welcome to the Astraea server. I am Old Schleg Dog, but you can call me Dog. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to have 2 video introductions. In a moment we'll experience the original version of this episode, or well, the first 40%. That's when I forgot that I was an up-and-coming YouTuber and went back to building in silence.
Did I not hit record? Ah, shit.
We'll get to all that shortly, and I'll even cobble together an ending to this unfinished work of art. But first, the second introduction. Welcome to the Astraea server. I am Old Schleg Dog, but you can call me Dog. Today we're getting in up to our necks in a brand new creative project. And just to see what it will look like to try, I'm gonna push the 5x5 building method as far as I can. But first, the title montage. I've been fighting the urge to build a themed village ever since I joined Astraea at the beginning of 2025. But Village Town here is already well established as a non-themed place, and is still very much in progress. I really don't want to start over somewhere else. Yet. Nor do I want to replace my nether roof portal from the previous episode. So what's left? Well, the scary nether area directly beneath the roof. The portal on the aft of the SS Find Out goes here, my little anteroom with an unethical vending machine. This was the first room of a sprawling manor that never came to pass. Instead, I've been mining netherrack, blackstone, and basalt, then leaving as fast as my golden boots will carry me. This is the perfect place to build the dark and gothic sister city to my home above the surface. Perfect might be a strong word. Piglins and hoglins can be easily dealt with, sure, but they're still really annoying. Worse still are the skellies and ghasts, who are range enemies and attack from afar. There won't be any peaceful building here, I'm afraid. Mob proofing can help a little, but this is the nether. It's supposed to be dangerous. And the server's difficulty is set too hard to really drive that point home. So the question is, how much abuse can I withstand before I give up and just end the project? If real life is any indication, all I need is my supervisor to look at me funny. Let's see if it's any different in Minecraft. With that unknowable timeline hanging over my head, it's time to get right down to business. The goal here is to build a settlement that might be found elsewhere in the nether too, like a template to a piglin village. Yes, I know a piglin village is not a new or groundbreaking idea, but there's not one in Astraea yet, and also I really want to do it anyway, so... But this Gothic sister village cannot be as boring as the overworld settlements that Mojang provides. No, it must have flair, and it must have personality. And it must also fit the Minecraft aesthetic. That should be a fun line to toe. And by fun, I mean aggravating. To keep me properly motivated and creatively driven, I am going to use the 5x5 building method, which was popularized by YouTuber Andy is Yoda. The link to his channel is in the description below. I'll let him explain the technique in detail, But for the sake of this video, it's a way to build larger structures without feeling overwhelmed. But since I exist within a certain level of self-loathing, I am reintroducing the overwhelming anxiety part by spending most of this video in the nether. Nope, nothing easy for me, that is not the way. And just to emphasize how easy this technique really is, I will not take this project off of Astraea. Nope, no creative world or Axiom model here. Let's stay in survival mode instead, and hammer out the details here on the nether roof. First, I need an understanding of the 5x5 building method. And check. I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, and this is the first time I've ever actually toyed with it. So this will be more of an adventure for me than you, I'm afraid. Still, feel free to openly laugh at every dumbass thing I do. No, seriously, this is an open invitation for you to fill up my comment section with the most clever insults you can come up with. But they have to be about this video, and they have to be funny. I might even highlight my favorite ones in a future video. No, I'm definitely going to highlight my favorite ones in a future video. Second are wall designs. No, I'm not going to copy and paste these all over the nether, no. These are just my basic design ideas, which combine overworld and nether resources. They are super vague. The point is to give me a starting palette for each structure, and then to riff like a jazz player from there. And third, I need a blank canvas. The anteroom must go so that the empty area can fully breathe. I can't properly imagine this gothic sister village with a milquetoast porta potty sitting in the middle. And there we are. Now it is officially time to begin. But how and where? Well, I gotta lay out the grid pattern first. Blue carpet on netherrack should stand out just fine. And yes, sure, none of this means anything by itself. But after I decide where the first building will go and what it will look like, the rest of the settlement will fall in place along this grid pattern. Also, the nether is a vertical dimension, so I'm going to have cliffside structures as well, and I'll use scaffolding to give myself an idea of where those are going to be. Now, I do want to utilize the nether to my full advantage, but I also don't want to cover it up completely. This still has to feel like the nether. So I'm leaving plenty of room for this hellish dimension to shine through. Here is the generalized area of the village, starting with the lava docks back there, continuing down Main Street, then into the seedy residential tower of home that will overlook the area. And now, the hard part. It's time to flex my creative muscles and figure out where the buildings will go. And also, what they will even be. Sounds like a perfect time for a building montage. Okay, so the rough draft of this Gothic sister village is done. And wow, this is way more overwhelming than I expected it to be. It feels good having the infrastructure figured out, but now there is no denying how much detail work that I've just set ahead for myself. But it won't be boring. I couldn't fit all the various mob fights into that bitchin' montage, so here are the highlights of my frustration and woes. And it also serves as a preview for my troubles to follow. Battling enemies was not my only hurdle. I also drastically underestimated how much resources I would need. So here's me running back and forth like I don't have anything better to do. Again, a preview of things to come. But most importantly of all, and that's where it ended. We are now completely caught up on the original version of this video. Hello and welcome back. But that does leave us with one little tiny little issue that I need resolving. And that is that I have no clue what I was gonna say. Whatever it was, I had long put it behind me and did a little bit of off-camera work. A lot of off-camera work. But we're not going to dwell on whose fault that is. Instead, let's move on with a few, loose promises. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Hello.
And now, back to the action. Okay, so first things first, let's address the elephant in the room. This is not a village that can be reproduced anywhere in the nether that looks like Mojang would have made it as well. I failed. I mean, as soon as I started to work on it, I just went above and beyond, went ambitious with it. The original plan was supposed to be that I was going to take all the different village homes, like in the desert, the winter, or I'm sorry, the snow biome, the desert biome, the savanna, the plains. They all have their own distinct looks. I was going to bring all of those looks into the nether using different resources. I didn't do that. I did not do that whatsoever. Here is a really, hopefully a brief tour of what I've done, and that should catch us up. The first and biggest change I made while working off camera, shame, was connecting the entirety of the village with cobbled roads. I used mud brick slabs to give me a more indented, embedded look, and kind of makes everything feel more settled in. This is something I did in Village Town in the overworld with cobbled slabs and mossy cobbled slabs, and I really like the effect, so I brought that in here with something a little darker right here. The only thing I'm not crazy about, and I think this is just going to be an ongoing effort, everything looks too pristine and too clean. For it to be a illegal, nasty pirate kind of alcove, you know, all these cobble bricks are just so perfect. This is... Oh no! Yeah, as I was saying, the nether is never safe. Yet somehow the bricks are perfectly aligned. Nothing ever breaks. That's something that's gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to start tearing this up a little bit and making it look a little bit more decrepitated? Make it look a little more decrepit, worn in. We gotta take this further. You have no idea how badly I want to edit out that mistake and every other verbal flub I keep making. But it's my New Year's resolution to adopt a more naturalistic narration in these videos. Because apparently being really awkward is how you convince people that you're not artificial intelligence. Which is really weird to me because AI is dumb. So I should be smart instead, right? Who believes this paranoid crap? All 3 levels of the Gothic village have been connected by the roads. I have down below the businessy public area where all the seedy dealings are going to happen. And on the second level here, on top of the residential tower, I'm going to have a couple future homes and a few of the more elite, more exclusive kind of businesses. You'll see what I have in mind a little bit later. We'll see how Minecrafty or un-Minecrafty I plan on going a little bit later. It's all up in the air. No spoilers yet. And on the 3rd level, all the way at the top, these will be the mansions. This is where the richest pirates and most talented con men in the nether come to live. Now, the staircase up to the mansions leaves a lot to be desired, but it's sufficiently hidden away that I can ignore it for a very long time, maybe even forever. We'll see. Kind of hidden away? You can definitely see it. And I'm not crazy about it, but a little bit of netherrack will solve that. Or this will be one of those projects where I just lock in and completely forget to record, do it, and then regret everything afterward. No, the pain is too real on this one. Move it on. The second thing I did was bring Guar here into his little cage. There's the residential tower. Up there are the mansions. There's the lava docks right over there. And here's Guar in the middle. Did with the use of a cleverly placed obsidian portal. But now I have no idea how I'm going to get those obsidian blocks out of the cage without dying to my angry little friend here. I didn't think that through. However, on the plus side, there is not a loose Ravager running around the nether roof, killing everybody that I play with, so I'm going to consider that a victory. That might look like a giant L to you, but that's a W to me. Yes! I mean, honestly, I wasn't expecting him to destroy anything in the village. It's just a matter of him clipping into this, not being short enough to go into that way, into this path, pathing the way I won't expect, going around, falling in lava and dying, or clipping into something and dying. I knew something was gonna happen, so just getting Guar here in place, here look, Guar is his name, kinda sets the tone for the whole village, honestly. The plan is to have a few more dangerous mobs scattered throughout, but also, this is an active work zone, you know, my active work zone. So I'm not going to load this down with hostile mobs just yet. Just the rampaging ones. Okay, back to the tour. The next thing I did after Guar, no, I didn't do Guar. Take two. The next thing I did after bringing Guar into his captivity, I built this kind of sort of home. Yeah, immediately it doesn't fit the creepy nether gothic aesthetic that I was planning for. But what I do like about this interior, okay, well, there's no interior, but what I do like is that there is a back door that goes into the bastion. I don't know what I want to do with this, maybe rehab part of this area, but I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Hi. Oh, wow, sir, that's a spear and a half. Can you not put that in my face? Thank you, yeah, watch it. This is TNT Timbers, and this is Netherite Jack. They are actually going to be living here in this house, maybe. And I did manage to stash away a few more, oh my god, he's back. And I did manage to stash away a few more future residents of this town, but they're being held in secret storage, like behind these two floating signs that nobody will ever think to look behind. There's also this secret stash here. If you listen, if you look, that is a drowned with a pumpkin on his head. He's special. And my other super secret stash is right here, off to the side of the village, behind some of the buildings. Oh no! That may have been a skelly with a pumpkin on his head. And I jumped and made him shoot an arrow and it hit one of the zombie piglins, and I'm an idiot. Alright, well, I just lost one of my residents. That's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and run away now. It's more than 9 months before I'll have a chance to restock these residents again. And that's assuming that Mojang does the whole pumpkin head thing for Halloween again. Okay, we're gonna put that murder behind us. What murder? What murder? What murder? I don't know what you're talking about. Yep. Exactly. Behind me will eventually be the lava docks. So it's going to be piers that are going to stretch out into the lava almost as if it were water. And in fact, everything behind me still needs to get leveled out and terraformed. So I've got a little bit of work ahead of me here, but this does explain why this house exists. This is going to be the harbor master or the dock master's house, who have a good line of sight over the area. I do need to come up with an interior. I hate interiors. I'm so horrible at them. Sorry guys, just hang out in the boats for now. The second building was this square looking structure, which doesn't it look like the Home Alone house? Like if I set that there, and it kind of looks like the statue that the pizza delivery guy kept running into. Now, do you see it? I don't know if I like that. I wanted everything to be a little more fancy than this, even though my original goal was to have a boilerplate village that could appear anywhere in the nether by natural generation. This absolutely is closer to that than this and the cobbled roads. It's got a big interior, or a medium-sized interior. You can do something with it. Again, I love the... Hey, stop. Yeah, what now? Sorry, guys. Have I named you? Oh, yes, I have named you. Wow, I am just horrible with my residents. Ender Evans, Blackleg Pete, I don't know which one of you just got hit, but I am so sorry. This back door is supposed to go into the bastion. It does not. What I do like is the little bit of scene setting that I placed on either side of this building. Pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, a little bit of wild netherrack growing, some vines, a rogue lava column going down with some skulk veins showing it's like been burned and scalded around that area. Then on this side of the building, barrels, haystacks, a couple wandering zombie piglins, some banners. This feels more at home in the overworld, and I guess that's kind of obvious because I had to use overworld oh no! Oh man, maybe I should walk around with my display up. Maybe I should. And next is this house, only it's not a house. I wanted to have a lot of buildings that were empty / abandoned or just completely dark inside. So that's why I believe that's black concrete. And it just kind of adds a dark spot to this area. I like the darker shadow where you wouldn't exactly find one. I think that is the kind of aesthetic that I want to bring to the rest of the village. And maybe this is the template. Just embrace solid, interiorless homes. It's also kind of ugly. I need to work on this. But not too much because I want to keep the gloomy look, right? Keep it spooky. And it was that frame of mind that I approached the residential tower windows. You know, that's just in the way. Most of them are off, and then some of the ones that are on are different colored frog lights. All the curtains are a little different, all different colors. You know, maybe they're sitting there on their couch reading a book, or they're sitting there watching TV, or maybe they're peeking out underneath the curtains at you right now, watching you watch them. Maybe it's one of the lit windows, maybe it's one of the dark windows. Maybe there's more than one. Okay, that got too spooky. Turn the page, Grover. Move it on. The downstairs of the residential tower doesn't really look like a residential tower. It's pretty open. I don't really know what the vibe is, but I like it. Over here would be like a bar, kind of like from The Shining. Nothing can go wrong there. Then over here, like a dance floor for the dead. Then, you know, oh God, stop! I'm going to kill almost all of my residents before I ever even finish this village. This is gonna be a bloodbath. I am so sorry. Oh shit. I am so sorry, everybody. I'm gonna run out of here and hope that nobody else gets hurt. 3, 2, 1, go! Ha! Ah! These steps are a lot like the other steps, but these steps aren't as easy to ignore. Put it on the list. And the other tall building has become a newsroom. The Nether Times. Complete with super hideous gargoyles. Ew. Yuck. Oh, how revolting. Oh, who would come up with such disgusting, evil forms? Yuck. Well, I found it very fitting that such revolting forms would belong to the paparazzi. And those paparazzi, those reporters, being raid captains. That just felt poetic. And yeah, you can go in there. It's not a good idea though. They've made it very clear they don't want you in there. Their villain propaganda should not be interrupted. You can pay them to print libel about whomever you'd like, but to keep yourself safe from their headlines, it's best to get in the habit of offering them tips. Often. Or in one lump sum of your firstborn child. They are very flexible. I don't have any issues with the news, with reporters, with politicians. No, I don't have any issues with any of it. I'm a well-adjusted civilian. I accept what I'm being told. It just occurred to me that people use the phrase in Minecraft to make threats without really making them. Which means that because of this channel, I have just placed myself in the epicenter of government intelligence watch lists. Which means there will soon be a file on me in every major language on Earth. I'm also a failed screenwriter and a former Freemason. What have I done? And this copper monstrosity is the bane of my existence. I love the idea of it being a weight-bearing structure for the netherrack above. I hate how blocky and uninspired this turned out to be. In my head, it was way cooler. I feel like I just cobbled together a whole bunch of Legos and then said, look, Mom, put this on the fridge. Look. Just you and me here, you and me, look. The only reason that this building hasn't been bulldozed yet is because I can't find a single pigman with the proper certifications. But as soon as I do, BAM! And then the rest of the village will just have to be an ongoing project, to be perfectly honest with you. I might actually remember to record some of it, if I'm lucky. Who knows? We'll see.
Nope. Still too painful.
The plan moving forward is to tackle this one building at a time and insert it as a segment into future videos. Maybe not every single video. I do want to come back and revisit one building at a time and see how my vision changes over the course of the next handful of months. Or else I'll just sit here and talk to my computer screen again all by myself while dodging arrows and fireballs. Riveting content. But I do have a proper finish for this episode, don't you fear. You see, I may have completely forgotten what I was going to say back when I started the video, but I do remember one final segment that I wanted to do. So let's head back into the overworld. Did I hit that? I hit it. Well, just into the overworld, that is. This is the SS Find Out, the single navy bicep of village town's seaward defenses. And it's home to the portal that leads to my gothic sister village. It's fun to imagine, to me, because I'm a gigantic dork, it's fun to imagine a portal to home that you can take with you anywhere on your travels, so that no matter what strange lands you visit and you find, you can always be home in time for supper. Or in my case, in time to microwave a burrito. Never mind that this idea completely breaks the internal physics of Minecraft. That's not important, because this is my lore, and it doesn't have to make sense. It just makes me happy. But the way I see it, if we're continuing to use this portal on this ship, it should have a bit of a parasitic effect, right? Kind of gradually warping the aft of the SS Find Out, like the nether is oozing out from the portal. It seems like that's what happens with the broken nether portals that you find naturally generating around the world anyway. Like the nether is poisoning the ground around it. So I figured this portal should actually be worse than that, or have a worse parasitic effect, because it's actually being actively used now. Right? I went with the warped wood instead of the crimson nylium, for the same reason that I used the jungle wood. I think it has a drier, desaturated look. Of course, the stone becomes basalt, that's obvious, and then there's obligatory netherrack. The dripstone blocks adds a little bit of a hazy transition. It's something I'm still working on. And the copper is not a nether resource, but it looks and feels like it should. It just has this dirty industrial look that just belongs in the nether. So it's not true, but it feels like it, so I'm going with it. Then I have a lava column pouring out of the back. That's being controlled by the skulk veins. And luckily, fire tick is not on, so the ship is safe from open fire. And I see at the end that this is on the verge of block vomit, but it's, again, a rough draft. And I will pass through here countless times with who knows what kind of inspiration to tighten this up and make it look hella cool. I did not just say hella. Make it look badass. Ugh, I'm such a nerd. And I think I found my way to an ending. I mean, I'm not gonna finish this village in one episode. Obviously, I barely finished this video. But instead, I'm gonna revisit this nether village one building at a time, and litter those updates into the next, who knows how many videos, honestly. This village, Gothic Little Sister, Nether Town, Pirate Haven. I've been referring to this with so much disrespect. It deserves a proper name. It deserves a title befitting its legendary trading status within the harsh nether. It deserves to be whispered about, From its piers over the lava lake to the unregulated commerce beneath its mansions, I hereby christen this land as Harbor Port. Right. Cool. I will end it there. Take care of yourselves out there, and I'll talk at you next time. Unfortunately, what are you looking at? This is my carrot. Go away. What was I saying? Something about this place being violently annoying? Stupid begging chickens. This is my carrot. Ah! But honestly, this place is like violently annoying. That's no lie. With with a peeping Ravager over my shoulder. Violently annoying. Who, me? No, seriously. This is an open invitation to Philip